Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad Family public transport cost review for Budapest, Hungary in 2025 and 2026. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm in Budapest for a few weeks, and at the end of this trip I'll be recording my final verdict video comparing Budapest with other cities to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you lots of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This will be an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. With that being said, we are currently located in the central part of Budapest, where a lot of different transit vehicles are running as we are discussing our topic about public transportation pricing. They did have an increase a few months ago, but fortunately they did not raise the cost of monthly passes and long-term passes. They raised the price of single ride tickets, but it was not a very substantial raise, so their costs are fairly reasonable, especially if you compare it with other cities. We'll get into the specific pricing a little bit later in the video. We're actually going to go to one of the vending machines and take a look at everything that's being offered. But first I would like to discuss a little bit what the best way is when it comes to actually buying your tickets and paying for transit. And in a lot of cities in 2025 and 2026, you can simply pay with your credit card on board the bus or on board the tram. Unfortunately, that is not the case in Budapest. They do not have the specific machines that validate your credit cards, so this is something that they are still working on. They do offer this option on the bus that goes from the airport to the city center, but this option is not available on most other city buses as of the end of 2025 and beginning of 2026. I'm pretty sure they are going to implement this feature later on. Their public transportation is so extensive and so they have so many transit vehicles that it's totally understandable that it takes time to implement this system. And also another thing is their machines, the vending machines, are so convenient and they offer so many great options and they are easy to use, so that they don't have this kind of need to accept credit cards on board vehicles as some other cities do, where it's not as convenient to pay through vending machines. They also have a smartphone app that is fairly convenient to use, especially if you want to do trip planning. It's a little bit better than Google Maps because it gives you real-time data with any updates or any service changes. And also it shows you locations of each transit vehicle in real time, which is very cool. And it gives you the ability to buy tickets. But in my personal opinion, it's up to you, but in my personal opinion, if I'm in the city for a few days, I would rather not download the transit app and register in each city that I visit. So I prefer to use vending machines, and Budapest offers a very good network of vending machines, and that's why we are going to one of them right now so that we can take a look at what's being offered. And they have such a great selection of different passes to choose from, whether it's a single ride ticket or a time-based ticket or a 10-pack, 10 tickets at a discounted price, or also they have unlimited 24-hour pass, 72-hour pass, 15-day pass, 30-day pass. Out of all the cities that I have visited in my whole life, I think Budapest public transportation ticket options are among the best in the whole world. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these machines and see what we can do here. So you touch the screen, change the language to English. Okay, now we see the airport bus. We don't need that. They have a single ticket that costs, first of all, they give you a warning that is only valid in the city of Budapest. It's not valid outside of Budapest, which is common sense. It's good that they give you this warning just in case. 500 Hungarian money. I'm still learning how to call their currency. I just got here a couple of days ago. But approximately 300 is equal to approximately $1 American. So 500 is roughly $1.50 That's going to be the price for one single ticket. Now, if we go back, they also have the option to buy a block of 10 tickets for 4,500, which is going to be a little bit cheaper than buying each ticket. You get 10% off. These options are good if you're not going to use transit that much. But if you are planning to use transit a lot, I would recommend checking out their passes. Like the 24-hour pass right here, it costs 2,750 Hungarian money, which is approximately $9 American. It is not very cheap in comparison to a lot of other Eastern European countries, but it's also not the most expensive if you compare it with Western Europe. But I would not consider this a cheap pass, $9 for 24 hours. The good part is that if you click on that, you can decide when you want it to start working. You can even choose the time, I believe, over here. So it's actually 24 hours. It's not until the end of the day like so many other cities do. The pass expires at midnight or something like that. In this case, it's going to work tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, depending on which time you get it, which is very good for people. And if you look at the price of the 72-hour pass, it's only double of the price of the 24-hour pass. So basically you get the third day for free, or you get 24 hours for free. So this is where it starts to get cheaper. But where this pricing shines is when it comes to 15 days or 30 days. If we were to take a look at their 15-day pass, half man's pass for private person, the price is, I'm sorry, I clicked a little bit too fast. Okay, passes, 15 days. The price is 6,000 Hungarian money, which is approximately 20 American dollars. So it's only roughly, give or take, $5 more than the 3-day pass. And this gives you unlimited usage for 15 days. And this includes buses, trolleybuses, trams, metro, even some ferries and some suburban lines, as long as you ride them within the city boundaries of Budapest. And the absolute best value is the 30-day monthly pass, which costs only 9,000, a little bit less than 9,000, which is equal to approximately just a little less than 30 American dollars, depending on the exchange rate, between 25 and $30 for the whole month of unlimited usage. This means that you're going to pay less than $1 per day on average. So when it comes to long-term pricing, I think their options are very good and the cost is very affordable. When it comes to short-term prices, especially that 24-hour pass is a little bit pricey, 72-hour pass is a little bit more reasonable, 15-day pass and 30-day pass are great choices, and the prices are very, very good, especially if you consider the service quality, because their frequencies are very high and they have many different routes, and you don't have to wait for too long, and transfers are easy. Navigating the system is very easy and convenient. It's actually one of the most efficient public transportation systems in the world. And you can see they have lots of these machines everywhere, and they are functional, they are working. In comparison with Bucharest, where I just came from, they had very few of these machines, and many of them were not operational. Because of that, you had to look for a ticket booth, and of course those booths sometimes are closed, sometimes they have limited hours, and you have to locate one in the first place. So paying for transit in Bucharest was a lot more challenging than in Budapest. Here in Budapest, they also have these awesome signs with estimated tram arrival times. If you see it right here, I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit. You can see a tram is coming in 3 minutes, another one is coming in 4 minutes, so you don't have to wait long, which is a very good thing. And I feel that in this city, it doesn't matter you're rich, you're poor, public transportation is basically one of the best options to get around, because a lot of buses and trolleybuses and trams, they have their own lanes with priority signaling, and because of that, it's faster to ride a tram than driving. And also you don't have to worry not only about traffic, but also you don't have to worry about parking or insurance or maintenance or the cost of buying the car in the first place. all of this stuff adds up. If you can ride public transit for just $1 per day, I think it's a great option. Definitely a lot of people consider that when they make their choices, and I can see that historically they prioritized transit not just for one day, not just for 1 month. It's been years since they decided that public transportation should be the priority, and they spend a lot of time, effort, money and energy to make things better and make sure the service is good and reliable and the frequencies are high. On most routes the frequencies are under 10 minutes, and oftentimes you have a lot of different routes that you can use, that you can choose from. Basically there are multiple ways to get to your destination, and you can see these signs with estimated arrival times, which are very helpful also, so you don't need to wonder when your bus is going to come. You can just take a look at this board and it's going to tell you everything you need to know, also where it's going and how long you have to wait and the line number, and you can match it up with your information in your transit planning app or in Google Maps. They have their own app, as I mentioned. It's called Budapest Go, and I do recommend it. I think it's very user friendly and it gives you some additional data that Google Maps won't give you, especially if there are any service changes or some things like accidents or other updates that you need to be aware of. Also, if you want to see the real-time location of every transit vehicle in the city, that's going to give you that data, which is kind of cool to look at. Honestly, with very high frequencies, you don't really need to know where your bus is located because it's going to come in 1 minute, but or 2 minutes. You don't have to wait long, but maybe during nighttime, or if you live like far away from the city center where connections are not as frequent, maybe that can be helpful. But I've ridden transit basically everywhere throughout the city, and I think frequencies are very low, very high everywhere, and you don't have to wait. And with the cost being so affordable and the service being so frequent and reliable, I'm very impressed with their public transportation. That's why I decided to stay here for the whole month, because I really appreciate being able to explore cities through the lens of public transportation, and that's what my channel is about. This is what the paper ticket looks like. This is their unlimited monthly pass. You can see the date, the expiration, and they do have fare inspectors. So when an inspector shows up, you just show them your ticket and they scan this QR code right here, and that's how they know that your ticket is valid. You don't have to activate it. After you buy it from the machine, it's good to go. If you do pay with the smartphone app, or if you buy paper tickets, you have to validate them before boarding or when you board each vehicle. And I personally don't want to deal with that, so that's why I was recommending to buy an unlimited pass using a vending machine, because it just makes your experience a lot more smooth and easy and enjoyable. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I forgot to mention, but I think I covered pretty much all of it. One thing I do want to add is the fact that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I would be more than happy to help you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting. With all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad, or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I appreciate you being a part of the Transit Nomad family and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.